Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and hi if you're new here, I am Jade, and today we are going to be doing a little bit of a reading vlog over two books that I have just seen everywhere and seem to be completely viral. So if you haven't watched any of my videos before, you'll know I do read quite a mix of genres, but I am quite a romantasy girly at heart. These two books that I have seen everywhere are of the romantasy genre, so I kind of figured it would be kind of cool to do a read through of both, give you my sort of opinions. I won't include like complete spoilers or anything. I know they're very new books, so I'm not really going to tell you too much about the plots, but just so you can see what I think of them and whether they are sort of deserve the hype that they seem to be getting. So the two books in question are Silver Elite and Shield of Sparrows. I suspect if you follow many book accounts, you probably have heard of these already. They just seem to be everywhere. I feel like every account that I follow seems to have spoken about one or other or both of the books. And so I was just like, I need to get these. I need to know why these are so popular so suddenly. So my friend who I sometimes sort of like read with, not as in right in the same place, same time, but we often read books at similar times so we can discuss them. She had heard a lot about Silver Elite, so she has ordered it too. And I have been trying to get it, but it has been almost impossible. So I looked it up on Amazon and it was about a 3-week wait to get it. I went to Barnes & Noble, they're sold out. I went to Target, I went to Walmart. Everywhere is sold out, so I just haven't been able to get it. I have now ordered it on Amazon, and I will just get it in a few weeks' time. But thankfully, I have managed to get Shield of Sparrows. So here's Shield of Sparrows. So we are going to start off with this one. It's such a beautiful book. Like, look at this sprayed edge. Hang on, let me move my hand. Look at this sprayed edge. It's just such a beautiful book. And yeah, I've just heard such good things about it. So I'm really excited to start reading this one. Obviously, Silver Elite I will get soon enough. Actually, the online book club that I am in has actually put Silver Elite as one of the ones we can vote for to do as our June read. So if it wins, I might delay reading that till the beginning of June anyway, because I probably won't get the book very long before that. And then I will read and review it sort of alongside being able to chat about it in my Fable book club. So Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. So I will admit I ordered Shield of Sparrows kind of having no clue what this is about other than it is a romantasy. I did finish the book I was on yesterday, so I figured today was just a great day to start. I don't have loads of time. I've had quite a busy morning. I've still got some more housework to get done. Yeah, just a bit of a busy one, but I want to try and read a little bit today. So I'm going to read a little bit now because I have a little bit of spare time. And I'll let you know where I got to and my first impressions of the book. Okay, so I have read the first 6 chapters, which is about 50 pages into the book. I'm really enjoying it so far. I get straight into the story, and it definitely starts in quite a different way to many of the romances that I have read anytime recently, so it just feels a little bit different and fresh, which I really like about it. So it seems we follow the character of Odessa, who is a princess. What I really like about it is just a single point of view book. I know some of you might be disappointed with me saying that, because I know a lot of people love dual point of views, and I don't mind them. I quite like a dual point of view. Multiple point of view, it just depends for me, because I just feel like I usually want to read one character's opinion more than another. But I kind of like that this one is just a single POV, because I feel like recently I've been reading more and more books that are always like dual multiple POV. It just seems like that's become even more like standard now, so I quite like that it is just single point of view. So yeah, we follow Odessa, who is a princess, and it starts out with her jumping into the ocean, and she just sounds like quite a wild spirit. She's made out to be like that sort of not rebellious princess, but just that one who feels like she doesn't really fit in. She's the youngest sister. She's not the eldest who's, got the most responsibility. So she seems a little bit free-spirited. And I don't know, there's something about the way she's described that kind of makes me think of like Merida out of Brave. I don't know why, but it just does. We are told she has red hair, but she dyes it brown. So I think that might be why. There's just something really cool about her character so far that I just really like the personality of it. So obviously not giving too much away, but I will tell you how the book starts so that, you can decide if it's something you think you might be interested in. Odessa, as I said, out doing stuff, and then you find out she needs to be back at the castle. You get introduced to someone who you find out is her fiance that she's been told she's going to marry, who works for her father. So her father's the king, and this guy is like a guard, whatever, someone high up, working for her father. She is betrothed to him, and you find out she is meant to be at the castle for some kind of event, and that she's running late, and apparently that's kind of normal for her. She's always late. Well, anyway, she eventually makes it, and we find out that the big event is there is a prince coming from another province, and her sister is betrothed to him. So her sister has been promised to this guy. This isn't meant to be their marriage. This is meant to be where they're just first meeting, and they are meant to be getting married, I think, like several months later. However, there's a bit of a change of events, and it ends up that Odessa ends up having to marry this guy now. So basically we start off with this like sudden arranged marriage where things have changed, and we discover her father had like planned for the older sister to marry this guy. It's all like a political arrangement. He had actually trained the older sister May to spy for him, which Odessa obviously hasn't had any of this training. We kind of get the vibe that maybe her family don't fully trust her or believe in her, sadly. She suddenly gets married off to this prince, and that's literally where I've got to. So yeah, that kind of tells you the beginning of the story, without, giving too much away, but I feel like I can't talk about the book at all if I don't just say the beginning. So obviously from now, I guess we get to see what happens, whether she spies for her father. And obviously Odessa doesn't want this. She doesn't want the responsibility. She wasn't expecting it. And obviously doesn't want to be married to a man she doesn't even know. Like, I think she kind of accepted that she was betrothed to this guy called Banner, who works for her father. But she didn't obviously expect this curveball of having to be married to another random prince that particular day. So yeah, this beginning bit I've really enjoyed. I think it's just quite a unique story compared to anything, as I said, I've read recently. Maybe it isn't for you, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far, and I will check in with you next time I've read some more of the book and let you know how I'm finding it. Okay, it is the next day. I have read a little bit more. I haven't had too much time today because I have been really busy doing a lot of shopping, sorting things out. I needed to go get my cat more food. He's currently trying to eat my bookmark. He's just out of camera. I thought I would quickly hop on camera and share my thoughts so far. So I think I'm about 130 pages through. I'd say not a lot has happened, particularly in this time, but there's still something like great about this book. Like, I'm not bored at all. I love it, honestly. So not to give too many spoilers, basically, as I told you, she got into this kind of like arranged marriage, and this is sort of the beginning of it, navigating it, learning more about the guy she's married or trying to, and then leaving her province, going to his, and you find out a lot more about his province, that it's not quite what it seems. It's quite dangerous. This isn't something I guess she anticipated. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at without me saying anything that's going to give spoilers, but I am really, really enjoying it so far. Okay, everyone, I have finished, and it lived up to my expectations. So obviously I have been saying that I was really enjoying it, and it would just all depend on the end, whether it ruined it. I thought it was great, and I will go as far to say I honestly think it is my favorite read of the whole entire year. Like I said, in certain respects, for a book of this length, not that much happens in the plot, but at the same time a lot happens, and I love the characters. I think they're so well written, the book's so well written. It's just quite a unique story. So while I do love all my usual series, I have to put this up there. I do. This is my favorite read of the year, especially of like a debut novel of a series. Because obviously Onyx Storm was quite a big point of my year, but honestly, I think I may have preferred this. I don't know. That's hard because it's still in a ongoing series and it wasn't the first book, so they're hard to compare, but I just love that this definitely has some uniqueness to it. So, yeah, as viral books go, because I often find they're overhyped, I don't think this one is. I loved it. I just have to say I really, really recommend it if you like your fancy romancy, because there's not much more I can say. It's a beautiful book. to read and to look at. And then I guess it'll be time soon for me to move on to this one, Silver Elite. I must say, since ordering it and seeing such a hype over it and people giving it like 6 stars, I've seen a lot of negative stuff since. So I'm a little anxious with this one. You know, they obviously have the rumor that it's written by someone else, who's actually already an author but doesn't usually write this genre. I guess we will see. And yeah, I've seen some like really good, compelling arguments that it's Elsie Silver potentially that wrote this, but obviously we don't know. But I will see if I like it. I am going to read a couple of other books in between. I'm going to read a couple of palette cleansers, just so that I'm not going like from one huge viral sort of fancy romancy into another. And then yeah, I will see you back here when I've started this one, I guess. Okay, have you got a slightly different angle this morning? And I don't know. I think maybe I prefer this. Probably should shut the door, but it's fine. It's just a little clip to say I've started Silver Lead. I only read 4 chapters yesterday. I had quite a busy day, quite a busy weekend actually. I went to see like Florida and stuff. Quite a busy weekend, but I did start it on the 1st of June because it is my online book club's June pick. And I will say, so far, I'm liking it. It hasn't like sucked me right in. I'm not like super invested. I definitely feel like, you know, if I am to compare it to Shield of Sparrows, that just drew me straight in. This, I do feel as like a first impression, I'm not going to like it as much, but I feel like I will like it. There was just a couple of like weird moments. So basically, this starts out with our female character. We kind of learn that in this moment, she's just had a one night stand and she's trying to get out of it. And then she ends up hiding in someone else's room, which is just like unlocked in the inn. And that's a little bit weird, isn't it? Like, why is their room unlocked? Why? Like, that's just odd. So at first I was a bit like, okay, this is slightly strange. But I will say, as it's gone on, those first 4 chapters, it's got more and more interesting, and I feel like there's going to be a good story. I wouldn't say it's like super predictable yet, but I do feel like there's going to be some bits that I'm suspecting are going to happen that are going to happen. But yeah, we will see. So basically, this girl, we find out, can basically, I wouldn't call it a mind reader, but she can like talk to people through her mind. I think this is like a skill that's kind of like banned. You're not supposed to be able to do this now. It's like a bad thing, unless you're kind of like in the military bit that sort of does that kind of thing. So basically, she has to try and hide it, and she shouldn't reveal who she is. Find out she was adopted when she was younger, basically, by this guy that rescued her and found her. More happens. It's hard to say too much because I don't want to give too much away of the plot at the beginning, because I do feel like there's a couple of bits that just happen and it's like, whoa. So I don't want to like spoil anything. But yeah, first impressions, not bad. Not a bad start, but I think could be better. Sorry, excuse my hair. It's still a bit wet from the shower. I worked out, showered, and I'm now teaching for the morning and a little bit of the early afternoon. And then I also need to film my wrap-up video today, so it's a bit of a busy day, but I'm hoping to get a little bit further through this book. This one might be a little bit slow, just because I'm teaching a lot tomorrow as well. So yeah, sadly, not quite as much time to read as I sometimes do. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I will update you soon. Okay, it's been a couple of days since I last checked in with everyone. I have continued Silver Elite. I'm still not that far through. I'm about a third of the way through. I've been a bit slower reading. Had quite a few clients and was teaching quite a lot of lessons. And then yesterday we had insane weather. So it was like constant storms, but the storms themselves weren't that bad, but it was the rain. There was so much rain. There was people getting stuck in cars, you know, you name it. It was terrible. So much flooding. So yeah, I just never really got around to reading as quick so far as I usually would, but I do have today off. I do have to do a little bit of work, like scheduling in some online lessons, you know, getting the links for meetings, things like that. But apart from that, I am day off. I need to go to the grocery store. I've got a few housework bits I do need to do, but I am looking forward to getting more into this. So I will check back in later properly and tell you exactly what I'm thinking. But so far, some of the predictable things that I spoke about last time that I thought might happen, honestly, they haven't really happened yet. There's some other cliche kind of moments, but I am really enjoying the book. I wouldn't go as far to say I don't want to put it down, but I am super enjoying it. I'm really looking forward to reading it every time I pick it up. So as it stands, do I like it as much as Shield of Sparrows? No, but I still think this is well worth a read, at least from the first third of the book. The only thing that really bugs me is there are quite a lot of like, I want to say made up words, but I don't know if they're made up. So there's quite a few words in this book that I don't really understand, and I don't know if it's because I'm a millennial and I am too old. I have no idea, because I looked them up on Urban Dictionary and they do seem to have a bit of a meaning, which sort of makes sense. So the main two words that come to mind when thinking of this is it keeps using the word keen, K-E-E-N. Obviously, if you're keen to do something, that's one thing, but this is like used at the end usually as like a question. So Urban Dictionary says it means cool, so like blah blah blah, cool is how I'm kind of interpreting it. But I don't know if she just made these words up, and they're not actually meant to be taken from Urban Dictionary, but that's what Urban Dictionary says. And there's also quat, which is, according to Urban Dictionary, a combination of two ruder words, one being the C word and the second one being twat. So I don't know. It makes sense in context. It's definitely used as an insult, this word quad. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this book could have done without that, honestly. But apart from that, I am really enjoying the book so far. So yeah, I will check back in with you later when I've hopefully got quite a bit further through. But I do need to go grocery shopping now. Okay, guys, I am now like 2/3 of the way through the book. So it's about a third of the way through this morning. And I found time to read quite a bit more today. So yeah, I'm about 2/3 of the way through, and oh my god, my head and my heart are in such different directions. I'm specifically talking about the romance in the book. So my head screams this is like not a good relationship. It should never happen. It's just not. But my heart is like starting to beat when I'm reading this, and I'm enjoying it, and I feel awful for admitting that because I just know in my head that this is not a good idea. But my body's liking it. Let's just put it that way. So when it comes to romance in books, honestly, whatever level of smart it reaches is kind of irrelevant for me. I don't mind smart in books, but I don't really seek it out. And for me, relationships is all about, whether I feel like it's real, whether I feel that attraction. And here I definitely feel that physical attraction, but I don't know. I just don't feel like there should be as much as there is, and I shouldn't be liking it. And yeah, when it comes to books, usually I love a slow burn where I can really see why they've fallen for each other, that their relationship works. I don't know. Here I'm not really feeling that, but I don't know, I'm still somehow invested. So for example, in Shield of Sparrows, I really quite like the love interest side of stuff, the romance in that book. It is quite a slow burn. I enjoy it. In this one, it's very different. It's a lot more lust based. It's not super fast paced, but it kind of is. At least the initial attraction is, and yeah, I don't know, but yeah. However, I obviously don't want to talk too much about the plot and give anything away, but I will say that the more I'm reading, the more I'm really invested, and I don't want to put the book down. Like, it is definitely getting better. So this is starting to lean now more towards that kind of 5-star kind of placement in my brain. I mean, the end of a book can always change that. I do think the end can just completely destroy a book. So until I get to the end, I can't really say, but it's definitely growing on me. I'm loving it a lot more, and I'm really excited to continue with it. So I will obviously check back in. I'm hoping to finish it this week. I have had quite a busy week, but hopefully I'll finish it this week, and then I can sort of compare them, talk about both of them. Yeah, we will see. But yeah, maybe I'll check in when I finish. Maybe I'll check in before that. I'm not sure. Depends how quickly I read. But yeah, so far, so good. Okay, it is finished. I actually finished it yesterday evening. I wanted to wait before filming these last views on it. I wanted time to like process it because I feel like it was just needed for this one. So when I last spoke to you, I was now starting to get more into the relationship and the romance in it, which I was struggling a little bit at the beginning. So our male main character is very, very cocky. Let's just say that. He's very, very full of himself, very overconfident. And I do think that is quite common of most main male characters in a lot of romantasies, to be fair. So it's not like I completely wrote him off for it, but he just has a slight more edge with it at times, I think, compared to some that I've read. And it wasn't that I hated it, but then there was like the odd bit just made me cringe a little inside. So when I spoke to you yesterday, I had sort of started getting to their sort of more romantic relationship, but I hadn't gotten to like the full-on smut yet. And then when I got to the first, what I will call smutty scene, there was a line that just was too cringe for me, and it ruined it a little bit. So I wouldn't say I didn't enjoy the romance in this book, but I feel like it could have been a more romantic romance. This is definitely a very lust-based romance, in my opinion. There was some twists and stuff that try to make it seem a little bit more romantic, I guess, as the book nears its end. But for me, it was too quick, and I feel like some characters' decisions and opinions seemed a little bit inconsistent. So they were kind of like my issues. So I ended up rating it actually a 4-star. However, 4-star is still good. I love the book. I couldn't put it down. I was really into it. It's just that if I think of some other books that I have rated 5-star, I feel like I have less issues with certain things, and I feel like they have more consistency. And when I think of romantasies that I've also rated 4-star, I feel like this is more comparable to those. So even though I really enjoyed them, loved them, and I would definitely read the second book of this one, by the way, it ends on a cliffhanger, I just feel like it is more comparable to them. So I feel like if I give 4 stars, it means I really enjoyed it, I will carry on with it, but there was just like a couple of bits that maybe I would change. For this, it is more just the consistency of the characters. I just felt like a few of the decisions seemed a little bit weird to me. And I just didn't feel the romance as much as I wanted to. So there we have it. It is both of these viral books, Shield of Sparrows and Silver Elite, both begin with S, that, are now finished. I've read them. And I do have to say, for me, Shield of Sparrows is better. However, if you are more driven with that lust kind of romance, I think you will love Silver Elite more than I did. It wasn't I didn't enjoy it, but I think some people are maybe more driven to that lust kind of romance, whereas in Shield of Sparrows, it's a bit more of a slow burn, organic kind of romance to me, and I just feel I generally connect with that better. I love getting sucked in and waiting for things to happen. It all just felt a little bit too sudden and lust driven in Silver Elite for me, but both are pretty good. I will say Shield of Sparrows is also slower paced, but to me, in a perfect way where I'm not bored. But if you're really always into that more fast pace, things happening kind of idea, I think Silver Elite is going to be more your thing. So yeah, 4 stars, Silver Elite. If I could, 6 stars for Shield of Sparrows. I only generally rate up to 5, but it's an up there 5 book of my year so far, so it has to be. With Shield of Sparrows. Obviously, there is the whole thing about who wrote Silver Elite. If you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. I have read a lot supporting that it could be Elsie Silver. Silver Elite sounds weirdly like Elsie Silver, kind of, backwards. So maybe it is, because we know it's Canadian author. So I do think that is quite likely, but I haven't actually read any other Elsie Silvers. So I need to now. I need to read and compare. But if you have read one of these books or both of these books, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Try not to give too many spoilers, or maybe if you haven't read them, don't read the comments, because I want people's opinions. I want to know what everyone else thought. But overall, both very strong books I've enjoyed reading this year. So yeah, I can see why they've gone viral. Let's put it that way. But for me, Shield of Sparrows is just going to be the one that sort of takes my heart with it, because I just love the slow burn. But anyway, I hope you've all had a great day, and I will see you again real soon. Bye!